the most powerful and feared man in the
Yeah.
music business.
I wanna try the boat, yeah. She wanna try the boat, yeah. And Quan, yeah. She only fuck with superstars, she got a rich product. She only like Chanel and a lot of red bottoms. She like Tyra Banks, she be with some top models. Bad bitches, plus she love the pop bottles. Who gon' try the boat when them hot girls say? Megan, kick that do say, I just hope we don't crash. I got money bags like yo, she be geeking on me on the low, baby. If you wanna fuck, I send a Uber to your home, baby. I got what you want, I got what you need. She my little baby and she told me yes indeed. She asked me what I'm wearing, smell expensive, no it's Creed. She say nigga you a tease, told her get down on her knees and fuck it up sis. Suck it up sis. If she don't do that shit right, she on my cutness. And I be flexing on that hater like what's up bitch. And I just ball like I'm LeBron when he on offense. I'm making plays, shows me extra turn when I'm on stage. Marsh pit vibes, so you know we finna rage. I'm a bust up, nigga doing bust up shit.
Y'all, it's your fave CEO and founder Tommy, Rappers on the Rise TV, and I'm back to y'all with another video. I decided to come back to y'all with a story time about my college experience. So, let's get into it. Alright, so I started college around August of 2014. Didn't really know what to expect in college, was kind of nervous, scared, anxious, like basically just all of the above. Me going into, I was going to say high school, y'all. Just kidding. Me going into college at 17, turning 18 in like a few weeks because my birthday is August 20th. So like I moved into campus like August 2nd, like basically like the first week of August. So I was just kind of like nervous, didn't know really what to expect and so forth. So just going through the motions of like being on campus for the first week. The upperclassmen weren't there yet because we were moving in first, so we could get familiar with the campus, some of the faculty, advisors and stuff and so forth. They showed us where our classes were. We were able to eat in the cafeteria without before everybody came back to campus. So and it was just like, okay, it was alright, it was cool, so forth. So like I could say my roommate, she was cool. Our freshman class, we had made like a little group me chat so we could all meet each other, we could all say what's up to one another, so we would know some people before we started school. Like my roommate, she was cool, shout out to her, and so forth. So, I was kind of like, bruh, like the dorms, I really was not feeling the dorms. I'm not even gonna lie to you. I was just like, bruh, like what? Cause it was, all female dorm and stuff. If you go to Benedict College, y'all know Mather Hall. It's like a jail. That's what it looked like. And my cousin, she went there, and so when she was describing it to me, I thought she was joking about it. No, she was not joking about it. I was like, wow, it really does look like a jail. But I was like, this is where I'm gonna be at, so let me just get used to it, thug it out, blah blah blah. So let's go ahead, fast forward to I'm 18, it's lit, blah blah blah. I ended up switching roommates, not because I had a problem with my first roommate, but it was because, she was there, on an athletic scholarship. So it's like her coach wanted her to roommate with one of her teammates so that they can get real cool and familiar with each other. So it was like, oh dang, because I really, really liked my roommate. But then, one of my friends from high school, before I switched high schools, somebody I knew from Charleston, and we were real cool. She ended up going to the same school, and she was like, hey, let's be roommates, blah blah blah. So ended up being roommates with her, and it wasn't at first it wasn't bad, it's like, you know, she stayed on her side, I stayed on mine. We laughed, we joked and stuff. But then, you know, I can say freshman year, like me and her, we was like this, like at the beginning. Then, you know, stuff happened and we wasn't like this anymore. We started becoming like this to like becoming this freshman year. So it's like, you know, no bad blood with her. That's still my dog to this day because, you know, you have fallouts with your friends. It's a part of life, blah, blah, blah. No need, because I'm not going to sit here and say she was an awful roommate because she wasn't awful. She was actually like a really good roommate, but it's like we just had a lot of like stuff that we just kind of weren't vibing with one another, so we just kind of went our separate ways for a little minute, which wasn't bad. So then let's get into the classes. The classes weren't bad because for me, my major was mass communication, but freshman year, you know, you have to take your general courses and stuff before you actually start really getting into your major. So I took the general courses and stuff, and those classes really weren't like bad or nothing. It's just kind of like, they were just like whatever. So, you know, not really much to tell about the classes because it's just like, you've been through school already, college. It's no different except you just live on campus where you go to school at. So that's it. And now let's get into like just the overall atmosphere of college. So the overall atmosphere of college, it wasn't bad. Like freshman year, you do meet some people in your dorms. It's like, it's cool vibes and stuff. You know, living in an all-female dorm, it is going to be a lot of cattiness, a lot of people talking about you and they don't know you. It is going to be a little bit disgusting because everybody was brought up different and some people don't have like the same kind of hygiene routine as everybody. So you got to kind of get adjusted to that. So for me, it wasn't like too bad because I mean, I cleaned up after myself and I kind of just did me. Now, let's hop into like the ups and downs of my freshman year. The ups of my freshman year were that I really made some decent friends. I was able to, you know, learn a lot in my major. I had fun, and you know, I was able to like figure out really like which direction I wanted to go with my degree, like my main like focus of my degree. So like that really wasn't too bad. Like that was the up. And you know, the turn ups were fun too, of course. Like, you know, the parties and stuff on campus was lit. Homecoming was lit. So it wasn't too bad. Now, the lows. The lows were, yes, I did get into some disagreements with people, but it was more so because like once you start college, everybody, you know, comes from different states, different cities, backgrounds, and walks of life. So it's like, you know, maybe how you do things with your friends at home is not how somebody else rocks. So it was like, for me, it was like how me and my friends rock. I don't know how some people do it in their city, their state, but for me, I wasn't going for some of it. Like, you know, I don't do that whole like people talking to you sideways and like talking to you like you're their child type of stuff. I don't argue or beef behind a dude. That's never been my style, because if you're arguing over a dude that's supposed to be yours, he was never yours in the first place. All that, like, I don't do all that. So for me, I think that was the biggest like low point, is just the fact that like me just trying to adapt with other people who are from like different cities and stuff, because it's like everybody's city and state, and then you know that coast has like a different vibe than like down south. So it's like, you know, down south we're like savage, we're no nonsense, we don't tolerate no disrespect from anybody. But then other people, they like to talk and then they don't back up what they say, type of stuff. So it's like, for me, I can say what I learned my freshman year is just stay away from like confrontation, because it's really not worth it. And then, you know, if you fall out with somebody, give it time and space, and then, you know, eventually it'll come back together. And I can say I learned that like basically like all 4 years of college. Like, you know, at first I wasn't really feeling the school, but then, and I wanted to leave my freshman year, but then my mama and my brother told me to stick it out. You know, college is really what you make of it. So then, you know, I stuck it out. And it's like sophomore year was kind of like the same as freshman year. You know, my classes were going good and stuff and everything. But then it was like, you know, I started having, you know, some family things going on. Like, you know, my grandmother had passed in my sophomore year. And, you know, at that point, I kind of wanted to drop out of school just because, like, my mind really wasn't there. Then it was a whole lot of, you know, I was dealing with a lot of confrontation with people. Like, confrontation doesn't bother me, but it's like, I don't understand, like, how people could come at you sideways when they played a part in the situation, too. It's like, you know, I take accountability for all my actions. Other people weren't doing that, so I was kind of like, bruh, it's too much, and I'm ready to just peace out and drop out of school and just be cool on it. But then, you know, I had a talk with my brother and, you know, some friends that didn't go to the same school as me, you know, friends that were just, you know, kind of out of school, just kind of chilling, working and stuff, making their money. They would tell me, like, you got this, you know, just stick it out, you know, we got you if anything happens, let us know, like, kind of stuff. Like, those, like, my real friends were the ones that didn't go to the same school as me. Like, those are the real ones. Like, they still my friends to this day. And I'm not going to sit here and cap y'all. I did meet some, like, I met, like, 2 of my best friends in college, and I love them oh so much and oh so dearly. So, yeah. And it's just like, you know, freshman year and sophomore year was kind of the same and stuff. And it was kind of just like, whatever. You know, freshman year, relationship-wise, like, dating, it was trash. You know, got my heart broken, don't even really care too much for it. Same thing happened sophomore year, got my heart broken twice, and I was like, dang, bro, it was just a lot going on, and I really didn't know how to, like, balance it all. So I was just like, dang, bro, I'm ready to leave school, like, whatever. But then I was like, it's gonna get better. It's really gonna get better and stuff. Like, I just really had to believe that. And this is when people tell you, like, you know, keeping your faith is everything, because it's true. Like, you know, when you're going through you're going to go through some tough times in college, and that's really, really true, because I didn't believe that until I started going through a whole lot of, like, nonsense. So, like, you know, my mama would always just tell me, when in doubt, you know, just keep your faith and just, you know, talk to the Lord. And so when I did, I was kind of like, okay, all right. And, like, my spirit and everything started to get better. And then, you know, going into my junior year, I still was having some problems with people. Like, just because, you know, people are always gonna, like, try to find a reason to dislike you and cause problems with you. So you just have to learn how to just ignore people and just stay in your lane and focus on why you're there. You're there for an education, you're there for the experience, you're there to, you know, better yourself. So it's like, I was kind of just like, over it, kind of done, kind of just ready to graduate. But then I was like, you know, I had my fun times. Like I said, like, college was not all bad. It's like, just like life, you're going to have your good parts and your bad parts. That's like college. So it's like I said, I had a lot of fun in college. And some stuff I wish I could take back, but it already happened, so can't really take it back. All you can do is learn from it and grow. So like I said, my junior year of college really wasn't too bad, but it was kind of like the same events that happened my sophomore and freshman year, what happened in my junior year too, as far as like confrontation with people. And I was kind of starting to think, am I the problem? But then I realized that I'm not the problem. It's like, everybody is different, like I said before. So you just have to learn how to walk away from situations that don't serve you a purpose. Remove any toxic vibes from your life and trust and watch and see how much you'll, like, grow and evolve. It'll be so much better. So junior year, you know, made good grades and blase. Alright, skipping to the last year of college, you know, like the last year of college, the beginning, it wasn't as bad. Like, I could say the beginning of my senior year was actually pretty good. You know, still had its ups and downs, but at the same time, I already, like I stated before, I realized that, you know, that's just what comes with the territory in college. You know, you're not always going to have everything smooth sailing. And I was like, okay, alright, whatever. So then, you know, get into the last semester, a lot happened. I did get into like some confrontation that did turn physical, and the end result wasn't pretty. But what I took from that situation is just to learn to walk away from people, learn to just, you know, stand your ground, but be better and rise above any negativity. So it's like, if people come at you with that type of static and energy, like, oh, I want to fight you type of vibes, man, walk away. Like, people will tell you, like, oh, if you walk away from a fight, oh, that makes you scary, oh, you not about it. Don't listen to them, because that's the same people that's going to cause you to end up catching a charge and end up getting put in jail. And then when you're in jail, where those people that was like, oh, if you don't fight this person, you're not about it, you're scary, this, that, and the third. But when you're sitting in a jail cell by yourself in county looking stupid, where were those people at, right? Like, they're nowhere to be found, right? So it's kind of like, you know, just like my best advice for college, and my advice that like I wish that I would have listened to heavy, was just stay away from people that don't serve you a purpose. Focus on yourself, keep God first, and just don't let anybody get you off track, is my advice. Because what I learned from all like 4 years of college was like, you know, if I just really stayed with the people that were like actually like genuinely real people and good vibes, or stayed to myself more, I wouldn't have gotten into half the situations that I got into, which were really bad. Because in college, you may have a fight or two, because I did. I'm not going to sit here and cap to you. I did have a fight or two, and I did get into a lot of confrontational situations with people, but it's only because people will not take accountability for their actions. They'll try to blame you for everything, instead of saying, well, I played a role in this which caused you to move like this. Because that was me. Like, I think the best advice somebody ever told me was to, like, you know, make sure before you point the finger that, you know, you're clean on your end. Because I know that sometimes my actions, my intentions weren't bad, but how other people perceived my intentions were like of another thing. So then I started learning how to like watch how I move, and just kind of like watch how I talk to people, and like watch just how I come off in general. Because you could be the sweetest person, but like if you come off a certain way or move a certain way, people are going to think something different. And I think that's like the best advice somebody ever told me, which I wish I would have known my freshman year and moving forward. Because like I said, a lot of stuff happened. You know, I lost a lot of family members. My mindset wasn't the same. I was angry sometimes, and sometimes like I wouldn't lash out at people, but like sometimes my mindset would be like, if anybody comes at me sideways, I'm ready to like fight, I'm ready to throw hands type of vibes. But it's like, looking back on all that now, because I graduated class of 2018, and you know, now we're coming towards like the end of 2019, it's about to be 2020. So I've been out of college now for like almost going on like 2 years. So it's like, looking back on all that now, I was like, dang, like I really wish I would have listened to my mama more. I wish I would have stayed to myself more, and I wish I would have like cut certain people off when they showed their true colors on more than one occasion. And you know, I was young, made some stupid choices that I'm not proud of, but you know, life goes on, and you know, it's just a learning experience. So basically, my overall college experience wasn't bad. I'm actually glad that I stuck it out at Benedict. And you know, Benedict is actually like a very, very like really good school that produced some greats. The history behind the school is beautiful. And you know, just for any African American, you know, look into your HBCUs, because people sleep on HBCUs a lot. And it's like, I don't see why, because like HBCUs teach you so much about the African American culture, and it's just like the vibes are just so good at an HBCU, and it really feels like home. But just general advice to people going into college: stick to your guns, stay focused, don't let people take you off track, and just remember, just continue to grind and stay down until you come up. Because trust, everything is all a process. You know, if you go through any situations, just remember to keep God first. Remember to always call home. And you know, just remember to like check on your mental health. Make sure that you're good, because like I can say my mental health was good sometimes and bad sometimes. And I regret not taking a lot of time for myself. And you know, just doing things differently. So it's like I said, for me, don't listen to people when they say, oh, you should fight this person, oh, you should get involved with this person. Don't do it. Like, just peer pressure is real in college, just as it is in high school, middle school, and so forth. Don't let anybody pressure you into doing something you're not ready to do. Don't let people talk you into fighting, jumping, none of that, because violence doesn't solve anything. All it does is, you know, cause you to catch a charge and go to jail. It's not worth it. No fight was ever worth it. No beef was ever that serious for you to get like real violent with somebody. Like I said, I speak from experience. Like I said, learn from me. Enjoy this story time right here.
The most powerful and feared man in the music business.